How's it going, you guys? It's Will here. Hope you're all doing well. Now for this video, I want to go ahead and tell you guys what my top 5 favorite Godzilla suits are. Now, yes, technically I have already made this video twice before, but those videos, they are 5-6 years old now, and they're very shitty. Like, the microphone quality was absolute trash. All you heard was nothing but static in those videos. I would say that the microphone quality has improved a lot since then, so I want to go ahead and redo those videos. And besides, I want to give a Godzilla video the same treatment I've been giving my Jurassic Park videos, like the top 5 Jurassic Park moments video, the San Diego incident video. I want to give a Godzilla video that kind of treatment. I want to do one of those kind of videos, but Godzilla related. And besides, with Godzilla King of the Monsters coming out at the end of the month, we gotta celebrate with some Godzilla videos. So without any further ado, let's go ahead and tell you guys my top 5 favorite Godzilla suits. Now you guys will notice that this list has changed slightly from the other 2 videos. That's just mainly due to, you know, my opinions on certain Godzilla suits changing over the years. And also, one thing to keep in mind, you guys, is for this list, I'm going to be excluding the original 1954 Godzilla suit. I feel like if I put that on the list, like, yes, it is the first Godzilla design. I feel like if I put it on the list just for that reason, that's just me just taking the easy way out. Yes, we know it's a classic, but I feel like if it's on the list, that's just me taking the easy way out just to avoid criticism. So just keep that in mind, you guys, that for this list, I'm going to be excluding Godzilla 1954. You know, just keep that in mind. At number 5, we have Godzilla 1964, also known as the Mosu Goji suit, as seen in Mothra vs. Godzilla. Now, for one of the earliest Godzilla designs, it's easily one of the best in the whole series, at least in my opinion. Like, this is my personal favorite Showa Godzilla, and there's a few reasons for that. The first of which being is just Godzilla's face. Godzilla just has this evil and just menacing looking face. I think it has something to do with those really pronounced eyebrows. But also, I liked how in this suit, they made Godzilla's face look a little more like animal-like, and a little more like mammal-esque, rather than more reptilian like the previous Godzilla suit did. You know, 1962 Godzilla, the suit before this one, it just had a more of like a reptile-esque appearance. And I don't know, that suit, a lot of it just seemed very off to me. Like, the Godzilla suits before 1964, they just had several problems. Like, 55 was way too scrawny, but that was because they had to slim down the suit for the actor to portray the creature. And then 1962 just had this really weird built body. Like, he was very like wide, had a weird hunched over thing. But Godzilla 1964 improves on all these things. Like, they make Godzilla stand more upright. The body is not wide and fat like 62. They make Godzilla have a more muscular built body, and that's what I really like. I like Godzilla. I like them standing upright, and I like them to have a nice muscular build rather than being fat and just, I don't know. But yeah, Godzilla 1964, it's a nice, evil, mean-looking Godzilla suit, and it makes sense. It's for Godzilla's character, because Godzilla's character in Mothra vs. Godzilla is this like mean, brutal, indestructible creature, and I think the suit, just the appearance, fits that character role pretty well. Now, yes, I am aware that this Godzilla suit is technically used again in Ghidorah 3 the Monster, the following film after Mothra vs. Godzilla. It is still the same suit, it's the same body, same build. They changed the face just slightly, which, yes, technically it is kind of the same suit, but something about the face in Ghidorah 3 the Monster, it's toned down. Like, Godzilla's evilness is just kind of toned down in that suit. But overall, it is pretty much the same suit, but just slightly toned down with Godzilla's evilness. Now, speaking of some mean-looking Godzillas, Godzilla 1984 is just that. This Godzilla suit, the suit we're talking, not the Cybot. The Cybot doesn't count. The Cybot is this 16-foot animatronic Godzilla that they used in the movie. However, the face of the Cybot didn't match the suit, so the Cybot we are not counting. But the actual Godzilla suit, in my opinion, has always been one of the most meanest and most intimidating-looking Godzillas, which is a good thing because the movie that this Godzilla suit appears in is one of the darkest Godzilla movies in terms of tone, because it's set in the Cold War era. So to have Godzilla look real mean and menacing, I thought was important because I think it fits the tone of the movie. So yeah, one thing I really love about this Godzilla suit is it brings back several features that other Godzilla suits lacked. You know, from 1962 to 1975, they were missing these particular features, like This Godzilla suit brings back Godzilla's tiny ears, Godzilla's fangs, as well as Godzilla having 4 toes again. So yeah, this Godzilla suit brings those little details back, which I really like. I've said this many times before, and a lot of other fans have agreed. This Godzilla suit is the closest that Toho will ever get to recreating the look of the original 1954 Godzilla. And if that is what Toho was trying to do, then they definitely succeeded. And of course, I gotta mention this again, the way that this Godzilla suit is built. This Godzilla is massive. Like, this suit apparently weighed like 200, like over 200 pounds, and it shows. This Godzilla suit just has this big, massive, muscular build. However, there's one suit on this list that is a little more muscular than this one, but again, this Godzilla suit, I don't think, this suit will always look good to me. He'll always have this big, powerful image, and that, in my opinion, that will never die. Godzilla 1984 will always go down as just this real big, intimidating beast. Now, honestly, you guys, I am not really sure why this suit, as well as the movie that this suit was featured in, I'm not really sure why this Godzilla suit has always just stood out to me. I mean, I come up with several guesses, which I'll try to explain, but this Godzilla suit has just always stood out to me. The GMK Godzilla, Godzilla 2001, wherever you want to call him, just something about it just always makes me feel a little uneasy. I think that has to do with the origin of this Godzilla in the movie, but this Godzilla has just always had a place in my heart. It's always just stood out to me. It's always just spoke to me. Now, the key thing I love about this Godzilla suit, the most distinctive feature of this suit are its eyes. Just having those soulless white eyes, that alone just always makes this suit stand out for me. Now, as a kid, I never really understood why this Godzilla suit had just soulless white for the eyes, as compared to the previous Godzilla suits where it had like normal eyes with pupils and everything. But as you grow older, you start to understand the movies more. It starts to make sense why this Godzilla just has soulless white for the eyes. So this Godzilla is, technically, he was reincarnated by the souls of those who lost their lives in World War II. Now that is, I love how original the idea is, and it just brings like this dark tone to the movie, which, again, I really like. I feel like when Godzilla movies have the more darker tone, it just makes them that more intriguing. So I think the origin of this Godzilla, I think that is what makes this suit stands out to me. And, you know, there's just several features of this suit that I just really like. I already mentioned how the soulless white eyes, again, giving Godzilla a mean, menacing appearance. And another detail I love about this suit are the teeth. This is the first Godzilla suit where they really focus in on Godzilla's teeth. And this Godzilla has some big and sharp looking teeth. And we see them several times. We see them in a shot in Godzilla vs. Baragon. We see them dig into King Ghidorah's neck and the blood comes out. Yeah, we see the teeth a lot, which is nice. Now, one thing that people are going to criticize me about are... So, the past 2 Godzilla suits, I'm talking about how they have big muscular builds. Well, GMK Godzilla does not have that. He has this big, fat, kind of beer belly build. But I actually don't mind that in this Godzilla suit because it makes Godzilla look massive. Like, it helps make Godzilla look massive than the other monsters in the movie, which I think is what the directors wanted. They wanted Godzilla to be just this big and just massive monster in comparison to the other monsters in the movie, and I think they succeeded at that. And for that, for having Godzilla be the biggest monster in the movie compared to his opponents, that I gotta give a pass for. I mean, that I do like. So that is the GMK Godzilla. Alright, now we're getting into the good ones. So at number 2, we have Godzilla 1991, also known as the Gedo Goji suit. Now, okay, some of you might make the argument that technically Godzilla 1989 and 1991 are the exact same suit. Yes, this is true. However, they made some slight alterations to 1991 that leans me more towards that suit than Godzilla 1989. Now, you might be asking, what is the slight alteration? You know, both suits look very similar, same face, same eyes, same everything really, but the slight alteration can actually be found in Godzilla's chest. Godzilla 1991 just has a slightly bigger chest piece than Godzilla 1989, which is why I put it above 1989. Now remember when I was talking about Godzilla 1984 that there was a suit on this list that had slightly more muscle mass than 1984, and this is it. Godzilla 1991, in my opinion, is one of the most muscular built Godzillas, and that's why it's so high on the list. I just love the look of the suit, I love the bulk, and I especially just love the face. Like the 90s Godzilla, well, 89 and 91, that suit, like, they started, I know Godzilla 1984, they wanted to recreate the look of Godzilla 1954, but something about Godzilla 89 and 91, they changed up the face, like, they gave Godzilla a whole new redesign from 1984, they made his face, again, a little more animal-like, a little bit more, like, feline-esque, but basically the term we'll use is more mammal-like, and that's something that I really love. Now, unlike the Godzilla suits that follow this one, you know, 1992, 93, 94, you know, this Godzilla suit just has a mean looking face. I don't know if that's because this Godzilla suit has the dark brown eyes. Maybe that is it, because the following suits after this one have like these bright red orange eyes, which, I mean, they did look cool and all, but it make Godzilla look a little more like friendly in appearance. But Godzilla 1991 has these nice dark brown eyes, and it just makes him look just so badass in my opinion. So Godzilla 1991, again, just a real nice looking suit. I love, you know, the big muscular build of the body. I also like how everything seems to be well proportioned on the body. And again, I love how mean the face looks on this Godzilla suit. And even though the face does look really mean, like, just the details they put on Godzilla's face, that really makes him resemble, like, it gives Godzilla like a more animal-like appearance, which is what I like, because it makes Godzilla seem more like a living creature, rather than him just being this big, just like, monster threat. You know, it actually gives him more character, in my opinion. Now, I don't know if all of you guys agree with this statement, but in my opinion, this Godzilla suit just had this big, massive presence. Like, anytime it was seen on film, it just left an impact. Hopefully you guys can agree with that statement. Like, this Godzilla suit, like, it made its presence known, and that's what I really like about it. Now, I gotta give a few honorable mentions before I reveal my #1 pick. You know, these are suits that I still enjoy. I still like their appearance. I enjoy the films they were featured in, but they just couldn't make the list because it would be way too long of a video if I did. So, first honorable mention I'm going to give is Godzilla 1965. Just something about, you know, this Godzilla suit. Maybe it's the eyes. You know, how they have, you know, the yellow in the eyes and the orange ring around the pupil. Maybe it's the eyes. You know, I know a lot of people like to call this Godzilla the Cookie Monster Godzilla. But, you know, I just always really enjoyed the look of this suit's face. Another honorable mention I'm going to give is Godzilla 1975. The reason why I like this suit is that this Godzilla 1975 improved upon what Godzilla 73 and 74 was. Godzilla 1973 was just too goofy looking. Godzilla 1974 improved upon it, you know, with the way that whole film was shot, you know, with the camera angles and the cinematography. Godzilla 1975, however, they gave Godzilla's face, like, they fixed up the eyes, they gave Godzilla a more squinted, mean look, but also still keeping his hero-like appearance, so I really appreciate that with Godzilla 1975. We also gotta give a mention to the Burning Godzilla suit. Now, you know, the suits before Burning Godzilla, you know, Godzilla 1994 and 1993 and 92, they looked pretty fat. I don't know, maybe it is just me, but I just feel like having the orange patches on the Burning Godzilla suit, I think it shows off Godzilla's muscle mass a lot more. And also, Burning Godzilla having his orange glowing eyes just gives Godzilla a more mean and kind of creepy looking face in some shots. Also gotta give a mention to Godzilla 2000. This is the Godzilla that introduced a lot of American audiences to the Japanese Godzilla franchise. And it is a crazy redesign for Godzilla, but it does look pretty badass. With the more jagged spines, the more detailed skin, the more reptilian-like face, it is a pretty badass look for the character. Gotta give it that. And finally, coming in at #1, my all-time favorite Godzilla suit is Godzilla 2002 and 2003, the Kiryu Goji suit. I'm sure a lot of you guys already saw this coming. Like, my opinion on this suit has literally not changed at all. There are several things I love about this Godzilla suit. I really like how they took the design of Godzilla 2000, because Godzilla 2000 was a radical redesign. However, the Kiryu Goji takes Godzilla 2000's design, but it adds classic features of the previous Godzilla suits. Like, for one thing, instead of being green, the Kiryu Goji is now back to the classic charcoal black color for Godzilla's skin, as well as the bone white, silverish color for Godzilla's spines, as opposed to Godzilla 2000's purple and pink spines. And I guess another thing that I really like about this Godzilla suit is, maybe it's just me, but I feel like the head shape of it, while yes it is similar to Godzilla 2000, I feel like it's also very similar to the Heisei Godzillas, you know, Godzilla 91 and 91, like that whole era. Maybe that's just me, but I feel like this Godzilla suit has a similar head shape to that as well. This Godzilla suit also has all the little details that I love. Godzilla has his tiny ears, he has 4 toes, as well as he has the fangs, and perhaps the most distinctive feature on this Godzilla suit are the eyes. The eyes on this Godzilla suit, they are very expressive, and the coloration is very unique. This is the only Godzilla suit that actually has gold eyes. So for that, I don't know, that's always stood out to me, Godzilla's bright gold eyes. I don't know, you guys, I just love everything about this suit, like the way the body is built. I feel like this Godzilla suit, like everything is well proportioned on the body. Like Godzilla, like he's not too big, he's not too massive, he's not fat at all, it's not too scrawny like the one that follows it, like 2004. I feel like the body is very well proportioned. Some people may complain that the spines are a little bit smaller than 2000, which is true, but at least they still keep the same shape. And they're still very big and jagged. You guys still give it that. But anyways, you guys, the Godzilla suit, it's always been my favorite, especially in recent years. Like, really watching the movies it appeared in, I just love seeing the suit in action. Always have. I love how expressive the face is. And I don't know, I just can't really explain it. This Godzilla suit, it just always stood out to me as like it's like, to me this is like, if you're trying to describe Godzilla to someone, I always think of this suit for some reason. It's weird to explain, but that's just how it is. So those are my top 5 favorite Godzilla suits, you guys. You know, the Godzilla comes out as my champion, but I'm real curious. I want to know what your guys' favorite Godzilla suits are. So go ahead and leave your own top 5 favorite Godzilla suits list in the comments down below. Let's have a conversation in the comments. You know, who knows? Maybe our lists will clash together. Maybe we can agree on certain Godzilla suits. I really want to know what your guys' favorite Godzilla suits are. So go ahead, leave your own lists in the comments. Let's have a conversation down there. And that's about it for this video, you guys. Hope you guys enjoyed. I'm sorry I made this video for the 3rd time, but I just really wanted to improve on my older videos. But hey, thank you guys for watching as always. You know, Godzilla King of the Monsters should be coming out real soon, and I cannot wait to see that movie, honestly. It looks really good. But until next time, you guys, I'll see you in the next Godzilla related video. And again, thank you for watching as always.